Welcome back to the Matcha Talk podcast. I'm Liam.
And my name is Net.
You already know what's up. Season 2 is here. We're
Woohoo!
coming in hot with fresh conversation, bold perspective, and a lineup of powerhouse guests.
hmm And today we're kicking off a new segment that's all about celebrating women, especially in our API community. And this segment's going to call Net Thai Tea Talk. This is a name that Liam helped me come up with, to represent being in Thailand, Thai girl. So this is a space where we get real about things, we face daily, right? As a woman, the thing we don't talk about enough and the things we already ready to change. To start, we dive into body positivity. Because
Woohoo!
let's face it, right? As a woman, especially API woman, the
Mhm.
world is constantly trying to tell us, who to be, how to look, and what to value. But here's the thing, right? We rewriting that narrative, right? We tell them what
Mhm.
we want, our future. No one's gonna tell us, what to do and all that stuff. So
Period.
yeah, exactly, right? I mean, if you can tell, no one tell me what to do, what to wear, how much I weight and my height. So you can keep that to yourself. So joining me today is someone who is leading the change. She's the owner of the Midsize Asian Queen page on social media, the trailblazer redefining how API women see themselves and how the world see us. She's bold,
Ooh.
she's unapologetic, and how to show us what it means to own our power. So, if you're all ready, right, please welcome the incredible Vicky Li. Woo!
Woo!
Hi there.
Hello.
Hi.
Thanks for having me on.
Thank you
We're,
for being here.
we're so excited to have you here in
Yes.
that segment, actually. Kind of
Yes.
excited.
You're my first guest for our new segment here. Net Thai Tea Talk. And yeah, definitely for this season, we are, me and Liam are doing our own segment. And for me, he's like, let's do it all about women, API. And then that's when,
Mhm.
hey, I like literally saw you on social media and Liam, hey, you see this girl? And I was like, oh yeah, I saw her. I was like, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, because Vicky, your videos are everywhere. It's on TikTok, it's on Instagram, and then when we're scrolling down to like Reels or TikTok for you section, I saw your message and I'm just like, whoa, this girl is kicking it. She's
hmm
like motivating, I'm so quite surprised you're not even at TikTok yet, come on. And you're such it's so humbling to talk to you as well behind the camera because and we feel like you're such a humble and you have this fire within you that you keep striving every day. So yeah.
So to start this off, we're going to have some icebreaker questions and Liam going to lead us on that one.
All right. So this segment, I'm so excited to like do this segment with you guys. A part of this segment is called Yes Queen or No Queen. Okay, I don't know if you guys heard that phrase before from your gay friends. I think Ned can attest to that because I always say yes, queen. Okay.
Yes.
All right. First question is yes, queen or no queen to beauty product that make the skin lighter. All
No
right.
queen. Oh, I went too soon.
She's like, I'm ready on that.
I love that. Okay, and why? If I mind.
Yeah, I want to. For me, growing up, I was told constantly that I was too tan whenever I would visit China, which would make me
Mm,
self-conscious about my skin color. But it's like, this is my skin tone. I can't change it. And
mm,
also, when I look at my family members, at least within my immediate family members, like no one's pale skinned either. So it's like I
Mhm.
mhm.
want us to love who we are, what our body is, and just I think it's so unrealistic to have like the pale skin that is perpetuated in Asian
Right.
media. Of course, some people do have that skin tone, but I don't think the vast
Mhm.
majority do. And promoting that as a beauty standard, leading to people bleaching their skin and doing unhealthy things, I think it's just, hey, I like my skin as it is.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah, totally agree to that one too. Like I think when I was in Thailand. I like a lot of beauty products there had some type of, whitening ingredients in there. And
Mm.
sometimes like you picked it up without realizing that it's in there. You might think that, oh, it's just lotion, right? It's just face wash and things like that. And then later on, you're like, oh, there's whitening things in here. And I definitely used that before when I was younger, actually. And did
Mhm.
it work? Yeah, I did. It did work. But, of course, like I was young then, but I don't use that anymore. I feel like whatever it is, whatever it is.
Yeah. And one more point on
Yeah.
that is this beauty standards, it's so, it's different in so many different places. In the US, people want to be tan. And
Mm-hmm.
so actually at
Right.
work, some people brought in some face masks they bought on Amazon. They're like, why does it say whitening? And I was like, it's probably an Asian face mask. And then
Yeah.
we looked at it, it said made in China. I was like, yeah, that's why it says whitening.
Yeah, yeah. I also see this online too when people go golfing and they have this like certain
Mm.
face mask that like stick to their skin, but it's like perfectly shaped to their face. It's,
Oh.
preventing them like get sunburn. I'm like, it's
Oh.
cool
Yeah.
though, right? Because you'll be outside for a long time. Yeah. But I don't know how it's probably uneven tanning at that point.
Mm. Like this product as well actually does contain chemicals like
Mm-hmm.
mercury, and not a lot of people are actually knowledge of that, like with those products that's contained of that. Like it could be really harmful for their bloodstream. It could lead
Mm-hmm.
to a lot of like diseases, or cancer, maybe one of
Yeah.
them too,
Yeah.
like worst comes to worst.
Mm-hmm.
um which is really, I think that's why like something like like your platform, Vicky, or other people's platforms, such as like talking about advocating to love themselves, and what the media portrays, like, and also having knowledge of the products as well is important,
Mm-hmm.
especially now.
Yeah. Read the
Yeah.
label.
Exactly, because like especially in social media nowadays, we always kind of like we see this in TikTok where people like sell products,
Mm-hmm.
like constantly left and right, but we don't know what's within those products that we consume, um, by buying it and stuff. You said like it helps us, actually, it harms us.
Mm-hmm.
And something to think about.
Yeah. All right.
All right. So yes, queen or no queen. Okay, one size fit all clothing.
I'd say no, queen, just because like it's hard to like there's just such a vast range of body sizes. And I know within the US there's like
Mm-hmm.
Brandy Melville that has like the one size
Mm,
fits all, but like if it doesn't fit you, you're like, am I just like weird? And so I think it is
right.
helpful to have a wide range of clothing. And even within brands that do have multiple clothing sizes, making sure it is a wide range. And I mean, not only at the larger sizes, but there are also people who are very thin naturally and making sure they have clothing as well. Body
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
positivity, self love, it extends both ways, both when you're thinner or fatter as well, just having a wide range because wearing clothing that like makes you feel cute, makes you feel more confident.
Yeah.
Definitely felt that now with
Yes.
actually investing in cuter workout clothing also.
Yeah, I saw
Oh my
your
God.
story that you tried on the brand is
Blogilates.
it's Blogilates. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Blockalates.
I even saw that.
Yes.
I was like, oh my god, how do you pronounce that word? Blogilates. Yeah, I know. I saw that, and then I can see that different
Shout
sizes,
out to
right? You're like,
Cassie.
yeah. I was like different sizes, like small, medium, large, and then I wonder, like, sometimes I have to read the measurement because I'm like, is this like US sizing or is this Asian sizing? Because like I know
Mm-hmm.
I'm in, like who know what size XXX in Asian size. People might not think that I am, but then I was like, oh yeah, that's not gonna fit. And if I
Yeah.
see clothing that said one size fit all, skip
Hmm.
because I'm not gonna fit.
I mean, not to fangirl or anything on Cassie. I mean, Cassie, like, I like how Cassie really is really thought of her brand with her clothing and the way she designed it and stuff. Because she really listened to her consumers,
Hmm.
Like, she really could listen to her consumers, the way it fits their body, the way, like, yoga pants are being felt like, like some people has like different waistline, different backside, and um, the middle part of the area, that gives you like that weird, thing because I wear yoga pants. Okay,
Oh, camel
and
Mm.
toe.
yes. Yes, and as a gay man, sometimes I go running with my yoga pants, of course, a Lululemon. Kidding, but
Okay, bougie. Okay, relax.
but yeah, like it does like I do want to like be wear that because like I'm an Asian frame because some of the men's wear workout clothes, it doesn't really fit me as well because it feels to be fit as a Caucasian man, not as
Mm,
a Asian man frame, if that makes sense, because our
yeah.
frame's a little bit different. And I
Hmm.
think like I respect Cassie to kind of like look at her demographics of like of her people who consumes her products. So yeah.
Hmm. Do you
So
have
I
a hard
re
time finding sizes for yourself, Vicky?
I do, especially when shopping in store. I mean, even
Uh-huh.
for Blogilates, she does have a wide size range. Maybe I went a little too
Mhm.
late to my Target, but there were only a lot of like size small, medium, and some larges.
Yeah.
There, I
Mhm.
didn't see any extra large still available, but maybe that just means people who are, I mean, that just shows that people who are mid-size or plus size were buying up a lot of the clothing. So by the time I got there, there weren't that many available.
Mm,
But yeah, I think it is difficult for me to buy clothing in store because both it has to fit my mid-size curvy body, but also
mhm,
if it has
Mm.
pants or is a long dress, it needs to fit my petite body with me
mm,
being short. And so it does make it difficult to shop in store.
yeah, you're right.
All right, to the next question. So, yes, queen or no queen, to Asian media still tends to prioritize thin actors and actresses.
No queen. I think we have more like definitely more representation of body size. It's just sometimes I'm like wondering, like, oh, it sucks to be grow up in the US because I didn't really see many Asian
Mm,
actors or
Right.
actresses or representation. But then on the
Mm-hmm.
flip side, when I go visit China, where my family is from, I see all these like thin and we were talking about skin color as well, like pale
mhm,
Right.
models, and I'm just like to have also been inundated by that. I think would be a ton of pressure. But yeah, I think I just want to see at least within the US media, I want to see more Asian representation, but I also love to see more actors and actresses who I feel like I can resonate with, whether it's like, we were talking about body size, but skin tone or other features as well.
mhm,
Right. I totally agree. Because back in the Philippines, like, I don't know how about you guys in your countries, because like you said earlier today, like each country has their own beauty standards.
mhm,
And that's so true because in the Philippines, we kind of have it more of like Westerner type of if
mm,
you're Westerner looking,
yeah,
half
yeah.
Asian, you're kind of like,
Mhm,
oh, you're in the media or
yes.
something. You
Like
can
you
be
made
like,
for it.
exactly.
Yeah.
You're right as well because like we wanted to feel more inclusivity in the media, especially like I wanna feel like not just me, also the generation after us to kind
Mm,
of not have that felt of feeling of, hey, do I feel like do I want to be fitting in and stuff? But yeah.
yeah. Yeah, same way in Thailand too. I notice a
Uh-huh.
lot too, like in beauty pageant now in Thailand, a lot of contestants are like half baby, right? They're like half
Mm,
white or half of who know what. And because of that, sometimes they might take more of their stronger genetics. So they're like way taller, right? And it's just, they look, you can tell that it's just like they're not like 100% Asian. You
it's
know what I
always like
mean?
that mix of
Yeah, it's
like,
always a mix of something.
right.
And that's like tend to be the most attractive, right? To the social media, to like beauty pageant. And it's like pretty common. And I feel like social media make it so normal that you feel like, well, if you don't fit into that, then maybe beauty pageant is not for you.
This is okay. Just wanted to clarify. This
Yeah.
was this before, but like I like how like the narrative are starting to shape differently,
Hmm.
where it's like we're kind of like deconstructing that type of like that ideal of beauty,
Hmm. Yeah.
and because like I see the Philippines are becoming more of like, oh, let's add more like people like like who are more looking like like mainlanders like us,
Mm-hmm.
like here in the Philippines, like Tan or Futures more in the media. So I see that changing as time goes on.
Mm-hmm.
In even social media influencers,
Mm-hmm.
Exhibit A, Miss Vicky right here. But and I love that how like we're starting to have try to deconstruct that idea of beauty of this is it, this is the
Mm-hmm.
beauty, or else you cannot be here and stuff.
Yeah. Well, overall, like, do you feel like Western media is doing a better job, or what do you feel like is need more works for API women?
Yeah, I think both sides need more work, but for me, I can speak about Western media because that's where I grew up. I grew up here in the US. What
Hmm.
I see in Asia is like whatever trickles over on the
Hmm.
internet over to the US or when I do visit
Mm-hmm.
China. But for me, I appreciate the freedom that I have here. That I feel like I can carve out a space for myself here. Like I can walk in a fashion show, I can compete in a pageant here in Chicago. Like I can do all these things. Whereas I feel like in China, it's just like so much pressure, it feels like, because it's a very homogenous society. And so it's like if
Hmm.
people are of the same ethnicity or, majority of
Hmm.
China is Han ethnicity, okay, you're kind of starting at like a similar, I don't want to call it baseline, but like, similar baseline of features. So then they corral to a very specific standard that feels very unachievable.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
so I'm happy, I'm happy where I am that I can have this space, and I do have a majority of US followers. I see Canada as well,
Mm-hmm.
Australia. And
Hmm.
even though we don't grow up with as much Asian representation, feel like we have the freedom to be the representation that we wish we saw.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I love that. Yeah. And what about you, Net? Like, what do you think of the media from the Asia and also here at Western side?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I do feel like Western is trying to include more Asian,
Hmm.
right? Or at least they're trying to um, cast the character that how what it's supposed to be. You know how like before it's like they cast white person to be black or white person to be Asian and all that, right? But
Hmm.
now it's like okay, at least they're trying to cast character on very the the right the right nationality, right, and the right race and all that. So I think at least they doing that.
Mhm.
They're
So
improving, definitely.
improving, slowly
Yeah.
but surely is getting there.
And
Yeah.
one more
I
point
really.
is I know that
Mhm.
people, when in China, they were seeing different Chinese American actors
Mm.
being casted in movies like Simu Liu or Aquafina. I know there's commentary that they were like,
Mm,
oh, why does Western media always have to cast like the ugly, Asian person or what they think stereotypically looks Asian, like,
Mm.
having smaller
right.
eyes or certain features.
Mhm.
And I'm just like, I feel like Simu Liu or Aquafina, I could see them like someone who has similar features to them more realistically walking down the streets than the people that they
Mm,
put in movies in like
right.
Chinese media. So I guess like I just thought of that as another point where like I do think Western media, just because we are feeling, maybe we have more of a say just because there's so few of us in the media that we
Right.
can, go outside the beauty standards, but also I don't think there is as strong of a strict beauty standard for Asians here, obviously in Western media than it is, and obviously in a place in Asia.
Mhm. Yeah.
I mean, nice way of putting it. I love it. I mean, other than the yes queen or no queen,
Mhm.
all right, another last question for Vicky and Nit. Name three actors of that you um or in the political or social influencers that who like you find the most inspirational to you who are API. You
I
can
would
start
say,
first.
oh,
Mhm. You can start
um,
first, Vicky. Hmm.
I'd say three for me. Let's see. First is this model I've seen on Instagram. Her name, I believe, is Lisa Chan. Um,
Mm,
and she's like a curvy, plus size Asian model. And just like she's like rocking it. I'm just like, because I don't see often a lot of curvy Asian women who are seen as beautiful. So she's definitely one I've just seen her on my Instagram. I'm just like, oh, she looks so beautiful. And she's
Oh,
like rocking it. And she's also promoting loving your body. The
oh,
second one, I guess, is she's not a model or anyone, but she started this blog called Thick Dumpling Skin that I
Hmm.
read when I was younger. And that,
oh.
like, back
Mhm,
when I was in senior year of high school. And that really got me into knowing that I wasn't alone with how I felt about my body and being Asian
mhm,
American. Her name is Lisa Lee. And
mm,
then the third one, let's see, I don't know. I guess I'll throw in a wild card. I do think Aquafina is pretty cool with what she's accomplished, kind
Hmm.
of just
oh
like
my gosh.
breaking the mold and kind of
Yeah.
showing
Yeah.
like, Asian actresses, like, we can, like, she's like, she can be funny and entertaining and doesn't have to be
Hmm.
like awkward or anything. Like, she like totally embraces herself. And also,
Mhm.
she's also from Queens. I'm also from Queens in New York. I met her once
Hmm.
before
Oh,
she got famous, like really
no
Oh.
big.
way.
But it's really cool to see someone else from New York City and like kind of just like killing it with Asian representation.
Hmm.
I love her. I love
Wow.
Aquafina. I don't know
She's
if you guys,
funny.
I know. Have you guys seen Golden Globes lately? Like the recent one, like where she is in? She is so funny. Like I would watch her every day. How about you, Ned?
I'm not really sure. I haven't think of one. Liam.
Oh, okay. I'll go first then.
Yeah, how about
I
you?
would,
Go first.
well, for my API choices, since it's a women's segment, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I would like to I will say first will be Miss Sandra Oh, because you use Aquafina, Sandra Oh. They had a film together. Sandra Oh is such a, oh my God, she played a kick-ass characters in movies, TV shows. I love her. And it's quite funny. The other day, I was watching Princess Diaries, and she is actually the principal. I just learned that. I was like, how did I miss
Hmm.
that when I was younger? Which is funny. It's like one of those things. Yeah, I was just like, "Whoa." And then second would be, uh, I would say, hmm,
I
second
know
would
it's kind of hard.
be Cassie Ho, because Cassie Ho is actually is like, I like how she looks up like she makes workout really fun, for me, because like when I was like younger, I was a bigger person. And when I just starting to step on to my fitness journey and doing Pilates, she makes really like the working out really fun. That's
Mhm.
that's really needed, especially if you're trying to step into your fitness. And the third one would be the last bit is Bretman Raw. Sorry, I said API woman, but I said
Hey,
Bretman Raw because
yes.
he represented Philippines really well, I would say, and I'm so proud. And not only that, he speaks Ilocano. It's a
Hmm.
dialect in the Philippines. I'm an Ilocano. I don't know how to speak. Please, Bretman, don't come for me. But like,
Mm,
I love he speaks Ilocano authentically, even the food, and also how he advertised all those food in his social media, despite of the following till today. Like he's still authentically himself, which I really admire.
yeah,
All right, Ned, it's your
that's so
turn.
funny. I like literally watched like Bratman Rocks since he was like maybe like after high school or so when
Right.
he was starting. I was like, I find him very funny. I follow him. I was like, he's gonna make it big one day, and look at him now.
I
Hmm.
Ah,
know.
so
I know.
proud of
I don't
him.
know if you guys know this. I don't want to date myself. I don't want to date myself. You guys remember Vine? Because he got famous from Vine, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
I think so.
yeah.
Yeah, welcome to
So I
my
was like,
crib, and then he's like go into his classroom or something like that. I think that's one of them.
I love, oh my
Yes.
God.
Hmm.
Now you guys know
Oh.
my age.
I mean, I know what Vine is also. So, also, I just want to fact check myself. I like totally had a brain fart when I was listing my three people. The first one is Lauren Chan. I like brain farted and said
Oh,
Lisa accidentally because my second person was Lisa. Her name's Lauren Chan.
Lauren Chen, gotcha. Thank
That's
you
okay.
so much.
Yeah, like
Okay, Ned, are you
seriously,
ready?
the only person that come in my mind,
Mm,
guess who?
I don't want to guess, but
I think you probably can guess it right.
okay. Was she in a band?
yeah, because you always like,
Okay,
you can do
because we
this,
talk
Matt.
about this all the time.
Yes, you have to give it to Miss Lisa, right? Miss
Ah,
Lisa, right? She put that Thailand in the map. I feel like I
White
very
Lotus.
appreciated, right? I very appreciated like those talent, right, that she had and bring all that attention to, being represented like a Thai person. So I was like, oh my gosh, so now people know more about us and, more than just pad Thai or
I
like
love.
papaya salad. So I very appreciate it and I love her.
I mean, we should have more Thai women or men in the media nowadays, and
Or
not
you
to
might not
mention,
know them. You might, but you might not know them.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Baby
and
Monster
I
has
for
two Thai members, the new YG girl group or the latest one.
Mm-hmm.
oh,
Yeah, yeah.
oh, okay, I never heard of that. G, is this like a K-pop group or something,
Yeah,
or
so YG is the group that founded Blackpink, which has Lisa.
Mhm.
And so Baby Monster is their latest girl group. So the two Thai members
Mm.
are Chiquita and Farida.
Ooh, okay.
Gotta listen to more of that, right? Gonna track down my Thai people. But yeah, I mean, like that's literally I can think of that right now. Like, oh my god, my brain is not working
Well,
so well.
Well, here's our segment of Yes Queen or No Queen. I just want to say I'm so
Yes.
proud of you, Ned, that you have your own segment now.
Well, thank you for
And
being here.
not to
And
mention Miss Vicky being your first guest. Thank you so much, Miss Vicky, becoming her first guest. And I'm so excited for you, Ned. This is just really excited and what we needed right now, especially at this trying time. And I
mhm.
think that having you especially as your good friend of yours, like you inspire me so much, and I feel like you could inspire other people out there more, and you will shine other people definitely out
All
there.
right, Liam,
So,
relax, relax, relax. I'm gonna kick you out of here so me and Miss Vicky can have our space back. Well, thank you for starting the show with me, and I'll take you out now. I'll see you later. Okay, Liam.
bye.
Bye, Liam.
Welcome to Net Thai Tea Talk segment. Alrighty, it's just us two now, ladies. Let me go ahead and put us side by side. I never like this better or the other way better. Maybe I
Oh,
want to
I,
be
li-
this a little
oh,
smaller.
I like this better because like my face is the big face. I was like trying to look at you and Liam the whole time.
Yes, okay. I'll keep it this way for us. So, thank you again for being here. I know with the time zone difference, right, for you, it's a little later than where I am now. So, we're just going to get this rolling, right? Trying to make you a representative with your mid-sized Asian girl. So, first off, how do you get inspiration that you want to start promoting, body positivity on social media?
Yeah, so for me, it started, I mean, it kind of just starts from the way beginning of growing up within an Asian American community, within Asian American culture. Just
Mhm.
I was the chubbier kid growing up and constantly being told that I was fat.
Mm.
And also within, school, I was also bullied for being fat by non-Asian people. And that was just kind of just something always in the back of my mind, even as I was, progressing through life, graduating school, getting a job. It was just something in the back of my mind constantly. And it wasn't
Mhm.
until 2022, I was like in January, I saw that there was a pageant in Chicago called Miss Chinese Chicago. Now it's called
Mhm.
Miss Asian Chicago. And I saw
Mm.
that I was
Mhm.
eligible because at that time, for other pageants, I would admire them, but I was too old because, for them, the age limit was 26. And I was just like,
Oh,
oh my
okay.
God, the age
Yeah.
limit is 26 and you have to be
Yeah, yeah.
unmarried, but I was married. But the
Mm.
pageant, I did it because I wanted to feel more confident in my body. And through the
Mhm.
pageant and working with the director who coached us, she helped me to see that I can be an advocate for body positivity. And so
Mhm.
that's kind of where my journey started of like exploring body positivity with myself, exploring talking about it with other people. And as
Mhm.
time went on, I realized social media is just such an amazing platform to
Yeah.
reach so many different people. And I was just like, hey, let me just give this a try. And I just try to post once every day if I can. And that's where
Mhm.
it started with Midsize Asian Queen.
Wow. Well, but like to enroll yourself to be in that pageant queen like contestant, like what were your expectation?
My expectation was at that point, my expectation was like I wanted to just like there were things about the pageant I was scared about. For example,
Mm,
you had to wear a bikini on
mhm,
stage.
mm,
And I
mhm.
think that was the part I was most scared about because I was like, oh, I think I can talk on stage. I think I can do that. But just
Yeah.
like wearing a bikini, I never really worn a bikini publicly and confidently
Uh-huh.
as well. And I think that was the part I was most scared about. And I wanted to be able to like say, like, hey, I did this thing that I admired. Like, I kind of was like a closeted pageant fan,
Mhm.
but would never thought I could do it myself. And so the fact that I can say, like, hey, I did this, I walked on stage in a bikini. I was also able to have a community platform since the pageant was not only just a pageant, it was about getting in touch with your Chinese heritage and having a community
Mhm.
service project.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So is that when like you also start your social media on Midsize Asian Girl?
It was about 2 years ago, actually. Almost like
Mm.
1.5 to 2 years ago before I started Midsize Asian Queen.
Oh, yes. Uh-huh. So with that, what was your talent did you decided to do when you were on a contestant?
Yeah, so for the pageant, this pageant had a talent portion, but it was optional. But I was like, I can do something. And so I played the flute. I played a Chinese song called Racing Horse. I've played the
Mm-hmm.
flute since I played the flute between fourth and 12th grade when I was in school and then stopped after I graduated high school.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to pick it up again. But I actually won Miss Talent for my flute
Yeah.
playing. And I also won second princess, so second runner up, aka third place. So I do have a crown and I have two
Ooh.
sashes for my two titles.
Wow, that was great. And like, would that like beyond what you expected, or you feel like, you know what, I'm gonna get something out of this no matter what?
I feel like the closer I got to the pageant date and just knowing how much work I put in to prepare myself,
Mm-hmm.
I was feeling like I think I can win something. Like I
Mm-hmm.
think I can. One of
Yeah.
my goals now I'm remembering back then was I wanted to win at least something
Mm-hmm.
because if I didn't, I feel like I would compete again. And only if you win a title, you can't compete again. So I was just like,
Oh,
so I was just like, I think I can win, but if I don't, I can always try again next year.
yeah. But then you did win something, so you're
Yeah.
like, at least I achieve it the first time. And I think that's like you might be surprised, but I feel like when you win it the first time, you're like, wow, I guess I did great.
Hmm.
Right? Did you also like talk to your family or your husband that like, hey, I'm gonna do this. What do you think?
Yeah, I told my husband. I mean, the funny story was that we were just watching Netflix and I was just scrolling on social media while also watching Netflix. And I happened to see a post about the pageant. I was like, hey, you think I should do this? He was like, yeah, you should do it. And it was January 2022, which was, it's January right now, 2025. It's when
Yeah.
my head was kind of thinking about New Year's resolution, New Year, new me,
Mhm.
what can I do? And I felt like
Yeah.
this was something that I could do that was um, just very different than what I've pursued most of my life. I think most of my life I pursued what I think I should do. For
Mhm.
example, trying to do well in school, trying to get into a
Yeah.
good school, trying to get a reputable job. But
Mhm.
this time I was like, let me just do something that I think could be fun. Joining a pageant wasn't going to advance my career or anything like, well,
Mhm,
not like a
mhm.
direct relation. I think it did help me
Yeah.
with my career and my
Yeah.
presentation of myself, but like it's just not something that it's a bit more left field from everything I've done in my life.
Mhm. Would you say like after that would be like a turning point for you when you feel like I don't need to seek for like perfection anymore? Or like to be perfect all the time or things like that.
Yeah. I think that's a really good observation. I think the pageant was a turning point. I
Mhm.
think there were multiple turning points for me, like where this journey started of just trying to do things that were different than what I feel like society tells me that I should do, especially
Mhm.
growing up in a Asian immigrant household.
Yeah.
My family wanted to make sure that we did well in school so that we can get into good colleges, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean their hard work and motivation helped me to do that because me and my sister did eventually go to Ivy Leagues for
Yeah.
college. But I think the pageant it probably was like a big turning point of like, hey, let me do
Mhm.
something that I want to do, even though there may not be a direct relationship to this being, turning into something big or whatever.
Yeah. No, even that I feel like is might be a good outlet for you, right? I mean, from your job that you do for a living and you're like, hey, maybe like modeling now and things like that. Like it's maybe more relaxing. It's like for fun,
Yeah, exactly. Or just
right?
like having
Yeah.
fun hobbies.
Yeah. I think that's great. I'm trying to find myself a hobby. Well, this year, hopefully. I'll find something. You inspire me. I'll try to do something outside of my box. So let's see what box I can try to squeeze in
I mean, your
to make that happen.
podcast, like, I mean, it's like, something outside of your work or
Yeah.
another turning point for me was like I tried improv classes. So like that was like something fun that I did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that could be, take your mind out of work. That'd be really nice. So, with the pageant and now you being on social media, I'm sure you have to face, negative comments. And I even saw your story that someone went out of their way to email you their negative comments. How do you deal with that?
Yeah, I mean, as you can tell, I'm just like, what the heck?
Yeah, I was like, damn.
Like I think for me, what helps to do, I think in the beginning when my Instagram started taking off and I started getting comments, first they were positive, then I started getting a lot of fat shaming comments. I think for me, what helps is like the fact that they took the time to comment or took the time to direct message me, or even this person took the time to find my email address and send me an email. It's just like, there's got to be something going on in their life to be so unhappy with a stranger online, me who's living her life. Like me living my life is not affecting you in any way. And I think what leads them to do this is maybe unfortunately there is something that's not going well in their life and they just can't understand how someone like me who's fat and they probably have fat phobia. They're like, how can someone like that, they should be less happy than me, but she's like so confident and happy. Like, how is she living like that? No way I'm going to comment negatively on her post. And I've actually met one of these haters. One person commented and I recognized him. I'm like, this was the guy who we had to work with our apartment when we were moving out because he worked for the landlord. And like I remember meeting him was way before the pageant and my Instagram, and I just like thought he was so incompetent with his job. I'm just like these are the type of people, like you guys are incompetent. Like I'm living my life. I have my Instagram that I can be able to share my body positivity message. I got a lot of positive things going on in my life and fine, like, comment those negative thoughts, but like I am looking to my own internal validation to keep moving forward.
No, that's true. I mean, maybe they're having bad days, right? And they're like, don't know who to outlet to. And maybe they saw you on social media. I was like, I'm just going to leave a bad comment. I feel bad about myself. Therefore, you should feel bad too. And you know what? There are probably people out there.
Yeah. And I've seen the same people like commented on my friend. Her Instagram's called Life Through Honeybee. And like I've seen the same person who commented comments on my post, comment on hers. I was like, are you looking for all of the Asian curvy, Instagram pages to comment? It's like, it's just weird. It's an obsession for them at this rate.
I mean, at that point, it could be the Instagram algorithm. Because is this what you've been watching? Because you know how you watch something and next thing you know, it just keep feeding you the same content, but it's from different people. And so it's like, if you feel this certain way and then the next thing you know, next search, it's just still the same, like body image or a certain comment topic. So they feel like, oh, why am I keep seeing this? And then might even make them mad even more. So sorry, guys. If you're the next person that person comment, it's not you, it's them. It's never you, it's them.
They need to swipe away because their algorithm's getting very confused.
Yes, they need to search something else. Search for cartoon or something to make you more relaxed and less mad with life.
And but I guess I know we were joking about not joking. I mean, obviously it sucks that maybe something is going on in their life or whatever, but they have to vent. But it just shows that no matter what I do, I'm not gonna satisfy everyone. I get comments of I'm too fat, but then I get comments of you're not fat. It's just or people saying oh, you're not mid-size, or oh no, you are mid-size, or you're plus size, or whatever. It's just I can't satisfy everyone. And for me, I think what helps me to know that I am progressing forward and advancing is that I do still see a lot of comments that are positive and people who do feel inspired by my work. And so that's what keeps me going.
Yeah, I think it's also personal perspective. Right? Because some people might see you and me as mid-size. Some might see oh no, you're still skinny, right? And you're like, oh no, I am not. If I'm compared to myself to other Asians, I was like, yeah, no, if you compare me to my mom, I am definitely mid-size, if not who know what beyond
Mhm.
that, right? So, but like, yeah, so I think it's just people perspective,
Yeah.
and you should keep that to yourself. If you disagree, well, that's you have your opinion, but don't try to be so hard, right, on social media, because we all try to live life. We're not perfect, so we're just trying to advocate, right, for body positivity. What do you think is the biggest challenge for people to face when they're trying to, embrace their body positivity?
Yeah, I think that the toughest part about, about bracing your body is, especially if you grew up being told that you shouldn't
Mm,
love yourself. I think that's the biggest challenge because we do, I think growing up, we do look for external validation. I think I'm a people pleaser, so I think I definitely look for external validation, or
mhm.
just growing up in life, like how do you know what is good or what is bad? It's what you hear from other people, it's what you hear from the media or
Yes.
society. And so
Mhm.
I think it's okay if it takes you time to get to a point of loving your body. But I also feel like maybe the first step maybe is not loving your body. Maybe it's just accepting your
Mhm.
body, because there's like
Yeah.
body neutrality, body acceptance, body positivity.
Mhm.
And I think as long as like you're moving in a direction where you are less body negative, I think that is uh, a good step forward. And so I
Mhm.
think that's what I would say. It's like, get, if you don't feel like you could be body positive or loving your body, just like, body acceptance, body neutrality. And I think that's what helped me. I
Mhm.
think the second thing I think is helpful for me when I was going through my own journey and trying to be more loving to my body is to do new things that I didn't think I
Mm.
could do. So, for example, the pageant was
Yeah.
one. Because once
Yes.
I did wear the bikini and we practiced in a dance studio, so we had mirrors to see
Mm.
how we were walking, etc. So when I put on the bikini and I could see myself with the other contestants, I guess like I mean I thought I looked pretty good, because it's just like I just so often it's just like the image that other people have painted for me in
Yeah.
my mind that clouded the way I saw myself. But when I was like
Mhm.
objectively looking in the mirror and I'm standing with other people and we're walking, and I was just like, wait, I actually do look really, really good. So I
Yeah,
think like
yeah.
if you are stuck in a rut where all your life this has been the message that's coming at you that you're not enough, you're not beautiful, blah, blah, blah,
Mhm.
and I think that's where I was. But when I took the time to get out of that box to then look at myself objectively, I think I was fortunate enough to get to the point of loving myself. But I think if you do that, that can help you take a look and be like, hey, how can I be more body neutral? Because, like, hey, this is my body. My body allows me to do all these different things. How can I treat my body better and show it, unconditional love at least?
Yeah, you're right. It's hard to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, hey, I can wear that. Or, hey, I can rock that. I think it will look good on me. Or, nowadays, I'm just trying to find something that fits. Right. I'm not even trying to be like, oh, what if I get this jeans but like maybe one size smaller just in case I'm somehow losing weight. No, I'm not even look good for that anymore. Now I feel like I want to appreciate, like my size. Like, of course, if I can lose some weight, right, it will be healthier for myself, right? Less illness and sickness later on in the future. But at the same time, it's like, well, but as of right now, right, I need something that fits, something that will look good, something that will flatter, right? So sometimes when I go shopping with Liam, he can see the potential of how I could look that I cannot see for myself. And he will pick certain clothes that I was like, this look good on you, that look good on you, this color and that color. And I'm like, are you sure? Because I'm like, I can't see that. I'm like, you have that bad image or thoughts in your brain that is like, oh, I'm not gonna look good on that, whatever. I don't want even gonna try. But for him, it's like, hey, you should try this. And I'm like, okay, fine. Like, you think it's gonna look good? I'll try it. And then when you wear it, you're like, oh, you're right. Like I look like that girl. Or at least I like look really good. I should keep this. So I very appreciate it when people can see through me, help me to discover what I could, I could look.
Yeah. And also I think that applies to like health. Like I know you
Mhm.
mentioned like weight loss, but I think it's like
Yeah.
for me, what I'm pursuing is just more healthy behaviors and
Yeah.
habits. And
Mhm.
you don't have to be like, for example, I post videos of me at the gym and then I get comments of saying I'm promoting obesity. And I'm like, dude, I am literally working out and exercising. And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's also to the comment of like you can't satisfy everyone, but also it's like
Mhm.
I think sometimes people feel self-conscious about like going to the gym or engaging in certain exercises or doing certain
Mm-hmm.
things because they'll be judged for their body size of being
Mm-hmm.
fat. And kind of like for you, saying Liam's able to see your potential with like, you're talking about clothing. I think that
Yeah,
same
yeah.
idea can also apply to, for me, this year I started taking K-pop dance classes, and I never thought I could do that
Oh,
because
yes.
I often see K-pop dancers are super thin. But
Yes, yes.
I guess I maybe I saw the potential in myself. I was like, let me just go do it. And so it's like I don't have to be a certain body size to engage in certain behaviors. Like I can start engaging with healthy behaviors, and for me, doing these healthy habits, it makes me feel better.
Mm-hmm.
And for me personally, I'm not chasing weight loss because I've done that
Mm-hmm.
in the past and I have
Yeah,
lost weight, but it
yeah.
wasn't sustainable and I gained it back. But I think chasing healthy behaviors that lead to goal feelings at the end of the workout, for example, or at the end of a meal, like that's really what's helpful. And
Yeah.
yeah, maybe a byproduct is weight loss, but that's not something that I'm like actively looking at the scale. I'm more of like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
what's making me feel good?
Yeah. Yeah. I think K-pop dance is gonna be great. Like you're definitely gonna sweat a lot and you're gonna feel probably very satisfied with yourself, right?
So fun
After you're like,
also.
oh yes, I do something. Yeah. And I feel like sometimes when we talk about body positivity, trying to promote that, some people take it as, oh, like you said, oh, people like, oh, you're just trying to promote obesity. You're just trying people to just eat and, like be unhealthy. But like, no, that's not what body positivity is like. It's just be happy with who you are, how you look, what you do. But of course, right, trying to um make yourself healthy, like you said, like try to exercise, trying to make something a little bit, but at least appreciate how you are right now. Be
Mhm.
happy, not be like, oh my god, I went on a treadmill and tomorrow I'm gonna lose 10 pounds. Like, no, realistically that's not gonna happen. So how about just love yourself,
Yeah, you can't hate
right?
your. I like to write this in my comments. It's like I can't hate my body into a body that I love. Like you can't do that.
Yeah, yeah. And just because we're like keep eating, well, people need to eat. So I need to eat. So I cannot just not eat, right? Then that would do more harm than good. So, of course, right, when trying to make content, when you're trying to promote body positivity, but how do you overcome, the days when you feel less confident or the day that you just don't feel good about yourself? How do you overcome that?
Yeah, I think I'm very fortunate that I have my husband who will listen to me, but I find it helpful to talk it out. Because I
Mm-hmm.
think when I was younger, it's not obviously I didn't know him back then. But it's like, it's hard to talk about this with
Ah,
family
yes.
because they are the one that,
Put you in there.
do comment or they could be the one that made you feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's also just like when you're younger, it's like, who do you talk to with about this? But I think it's for me, what's been
Mm-hmm.
helpful is talking to, when I do have like a moment I'm feeling vulnerable, like talking to my husband. But if he's
Mm-hmm.
not there or like it's not something I want to talk about with him, I think for me it's just like, kind of sit with that feeling versus trying to hide it and like
Mm.
push it down because then I think it like gets worse and worse. And other days, like when I do feel like, for example, I got my haircut in China and like they did such a horrible job. And I was like, oh my God, I hate this haircut. And I was just like, like I was like, hey, let me be vulnerable. And I posted a story talking about it. And
Yeah.
I think just talking about it, talking with other people who can understand it, or even just getting
Mm.
the feeling out, I think it's helpful. And then after I did that, I was like, okay, this is my hair. I can't do anything else about it. Like it's gonna
Mm-hmm.
grow out. Like, just trying to
Yes.
think about it and also thinking about like
Yeah.
hair is hair. I was like, I can just wear it in a ponytail for a few
Mm.
days and kind of just like accepting it. And I think that was
Mm-hmm.
a part like earlier I was talking about like if you can't get to body positivity and loving your body, like just accept it. And I was
Mm-hmm.
just like, yeah, I'm just gonna accept this hair for now.
Yeah, yeah. It's gonna change. It's not gonna be like this forever.
Hmm.
Yeah. No, that's so true. Well, my hair is a little more forgiving. Like for me, if I go to a haircut, if it's bad, I was like, it will grow. I'm a little bit more forgiving with my hair. There's nothing really going on over here.
And then
People
also
might see the difference.
like, and then also with like body, for example, the other day I went to a climbing gym and like I
Mm-hmm.
was feeling a bit self-conscious because I feel like I could see of the group I was in, I was doing the worst in the
Mm-hmm.
group. And so I was like,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm also like the biggest in the
Yeah.
group.
Uh-huh.
And so like I think I was feeling a bit self-conscious, but I was just like, hey, I'm here, I'm getting a sweat in, I'm doing something
Mm-hmm.
completely new. Like
Yeah.
we all suck in different ways.
Yes.
In different ways. Like, yes, I cannot do a pull-up, so I couldn't do that specific wall. But the
Yeah.
next wall, my husband's more scared of heights, so he didn't even try it at all. But I
Oh,
did it.
you're like,
So
but
it's
I
like
did it for you.
but like I was able to do it. So I think it's just like it's if I just like try to push that feeling down, that feeling just that negative feeling just gets bigger and bigger.
Mhm.
But I kind of took a step back in my head mentally and was like, hey, this is something new. It's okay. It's like, you're a beginner. There are
Mhm.
certain things obviously you can't do. There are certain things other people can't do, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Like what
Yeah.
matters is that I am trying here.
Yeah. No, indoor rock climbing is not easy. I mean, if you're a beginner, I mean, either way, like you're not gonna be like, oh my God, I'm gonna climb this up. And then like, like it's like if you're trying to go to a gym, you can't compare your 5 pound to somebody 50 pounds, right? They might been go to the gym longer than you do. So it's like, hey, just slow progress.
Mhm.
Maybe if we keep going, you next thing you know, I'm gonna see you climbing that rocks. You can do it. Alrighty. So with the social media now, everything is definitely moving forward, right? So how do you think the body positivity movement is changing?
Yeah, I think for me, I think with social media, you have more voices in the body positivity movement because I think before with body positivity, before social media is as big as it is now, it's a lot about what clothing brands would put out as body
Mm,
positive or like
yeah,
magazines,
yeah.
what models they picked. And for a long time, yes, I did like seeing that we had plus size models
Hmm.
beyond the straight size models who are very
Yeah.
thin. But I still didn't quite resonate with plus size models.
Mm,
And that's why I really gravitate towards the term mid size because I am between straight and plus
mm-hmm,
size. And
mm-hmm.
the other thing with like, media, like talking about media is like this big, black box. But like the models they
Yeah.
pick, they are beautiful, but like I don't resonate with them as like they usually have like are very hourglass. They're very tall in plus size.
Mm-hmm.
They have, a big chest. I do not have a big chest. Like I don't resonate with this. Like all
Yeah,
I
yeah, no,
resonate is like
yeah.
you are curvier than a straight size model. And so I'm really glad now with social media being more driven by people creating their own content and sharing their realities. I really like that we can see more faces and see different body sizes beyond what is the conventional plus size model. And so I'm
Mm-hmm,
hoping that right now is a lot of it's driven by content creators. And I hope,
mm-hmm,
media, the big black box, whatever it is, can also start doing that as well. Because I know, yeah, Victoria's Secret came back with their fashion
mm-hmm.
show last year
Yeah.
in 2024. And yes, I like Victoria's Secret. My name is Victoria. But like, but like still with like the plus size models they picked, I'm just like, they were more covered up in terms
Mm,
of their
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
clothing or like
Yeah.
there weren't like that many mid-size or like there were more mid-size models and I think like there could have been more plus size models or showing, women who are larger because like we all
Mm-hmm,
have to wear undergarments. So I think body positivity, I'm really excited for where content creators are moving in terms of their representation and building a platform and showing people are interested. I
mm-hmm.
hope that the larger media, can move forward as well.
Yeah, totally agree. Yeah, like when I online shopping, sometimes I see small, medium, large, and I was like, well, I am not small. I'm a little bit bigger than medium, but large, I'm a little not there yet. And I hope I'm not gonna get there, but oh man, I don't know. Things are going not good. I feel like every year I gain something, but I'm working on it. Every day I'm trying to walk at least 10,000 steps
Yeah, and
if
like
I
it's also
can.
fine if you gain weight. Like there's certain periods of our lives like we're gonna gain weight, we're gonna lose weight, and
Hmm.
that's fine. And I think
Yeah,
it's just like accepting, like, hey, this is what today is. What can I do today for
yeah.
myself to feel good? And yeah, like I think that's kind of where I'm going for myself.
Yeah, like I try to walk more at work, especially, or make an effort to walk down the hall instead of just sit there all day. But I am trying. It makes me a little bit happier when I get at least 10,000 steps. So, what is the most rewarding part of being body positivity advocate?
I'd say for me, I think it is really nice when I get comments and direct messages from people and
Yeah.
saying, how much they like my content, how much I
Mhm.
inspire them. I really like the direct messages when people share their own experience, and
Mm.
it just resonates with me because I also relate to not seeing many people who look like me,
Mhm.
not, you know, I used to be at a point where I wasn't quite confident in my body, and I now have
Mhm.
people sharing these experiences and finding me as someone who's inspirational for them. I'm just like, whoa, I get to be that person for you. And like,
Yeah.
this is like, we were talking about the pageant, and at that point, I didn't think I could make body positivity my
Mm.
community platform. At that
Mhm.
time, I was still thinking of like, oh, maybe I should talk about employee resource groups at companies and providing,
Mm.
supporting employees of, of
Yeah.
color or um, of different identities.
Mhm.
And as I was saying this, the pageant director was like, Victoria, I don't think that's actually what you're as passionate about. You're definitely much more passionate about body positivity. And
Mhm.
looking back now, the reason I didn't pick that initially was I didn't think I could be that person to talk about
Mm.
body positivity. So now to just see in 2 years, oh, I guess almost 3 years now, how much
Mhm.
has changed. And like, I am the person that I wanted to see to help me feel more confident. Now I'm helping other people to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, in a bigger scale too, right? Because I mean, social media, anybody can see it. And I'm sure that when they see your content, they read your comment and they can, feel like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm not the only one that feeling this way. And I feel like you create that, supportive community for them to look at and feel like, okay, I'm not the only one.
Mm,
Right. So
thanks.
like we can see, things that you do, your activity and throughout your whole day. So then I feel like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I did that too. I feel ya. I feel you. So we're almost at the end of our conversation here. And of course, right before we leave, what is one thing you wish more people understand about body positivity?
I wish more people. One thing's hard. I kind of want to do it for different populations.
Mm,
I feel like if I start first with the population who misunderstand
mhm.
body positivity is not an excuse to be lazy. Like that's what I think what a
Mm,
lot of them say. They're like, you're
yeah,
promoting
yeah.
obesity, like you body positivity, you just want to eat all day and just lay on the couch. It's like, no, that's not what
Mhm.
body positivity
Yeah.
is. And I really wish that they would understand that it is about loving your body, accepting your body, because like I said earlier, I don't think you can hate your body into one that
Mhm.
you love. And so I really wish that like they would stop perpetuating that. And I feel like they maybe need some body positivity as well in
For
their
themselves.
lives. Yeah, exactly, for themselves. Cause like if they don't believe, if they think body positivity is that, yeah, maybe they are in super great shape, but if they feel like they have to be an all or nothing mindset and like they have to
Mm,
every day work out and be super intense and like, be super careful about what they eat. What
mhm,
happens the day that you're injured or you can't keep up with that habit? Then who
mm,
are you? And that's what
right.
happened to me. I lost weight in 2020 and I was working out
Mhm.
every day at 7 a.m. and being very restrictive
Wow,
with what I
yeah.
ate. But at the end of the year, I like just hurt my neck because I was like, I have to work out. And then I couldn't work
Oh,
out and I just like stopped. And
yeah,
so
yeah.
I guess that's one message to them. For the people who want to pursue body positivity, it's okay if it doesn't happen immediately. Maybe just getting to being neutral with your body, just accepting your body. I think
Mhm,
that's still a fantastic step moving beyond, body negativity. And that it takes time. It took me until I was 28 years old before I did a pageant and then starting to love my body. I was 28.
yeah.
So, it takes time and it's going to take a lot of work unlearning the messages that society, your family, the media has told you about yourself. It takes a lot of time to unwind
Mhm,
those messages. So be gentle on yourself and if you need help, come to my page, go on social media, like find other people that maybe they are more ahead in their timeline of their relationship with their body and they can act
mhm.
as inspiration or and to show examples of where you could be.
Yeah, definitely. Right. Listen to yourself. I know there's other people out there telling you what to do, how you look, and all that. So I feel like at the end of the day, if you feel good about yourself, what good will you do, then just be happy. right? Thank you for that comments and advice to people out there that is trying to resonate and trying to figure themselves out and how to find a way to appreciate their body. And we're come to the end here. So that's all we have, all the time today that we have with you. Vicky, thank you so much for joining me today for Net Thai Tea Talk. You is my first guest, and I'm so glad that you're here. So please continue to advocate for the body positivity, and I know I will see you out there. I will see you more content, and I think I see that you're planning to have some meet and greet or something like that.
Yeah, I had a meet and greet in New York City when I visited home. I'm originally from New York City, but I'm based in Chicago. I'd love to do more events. I recently did a curvy clothing swap here in Chicago. But yeah, I'm still, people can follow me on Midsize Asian Queen on Instagram. I'm also on TikTok and YouTube, but I'm definitely more active on Instagram. And 2 goals I have for this year is I'd like to start posting long form videos on YouTube on Midsize Asian Queen to talk more in depth about body positivity, just because the videos I post right now, they're very short videos because that is what does well for reels on Instagram. So I'd love to post long form videos to talk more in depth on topics. And secondly, this is like a very not concrete goal, but I think I might want to compete in Miss Illinois USA pageant this year. So I think I am like an 80% yes, but I need to decide if I'm 100% before I register. But those are 2 things that hopefully people can look ahead for in what I have coming up this year.
Yes, everybody stay tuned, right? Because we're going to see Miss Vicky Li out there rocking her Midsize Asian Queen page, and her YouTube channel is coming up. I'm pretty sure she's recording and, want to talk to you guys some more. So thank you so much for being here. And that's it for today for the Matcha Talk podcast. Thank you so much. And see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
We hope you enjoyed our episode of our podcast today.
Before you go, please make sure to follow us on Instagram, Matcha Talk _podcast.
Don't forget our TikTok account. It's Matcha Talks. All right. We hope to hear from you soon.
Bye.
Bye.